Hey, Lions fans, grab your popcorn. 'Cause today we're diving into a story that might make you laugh, cry, or both at the same time. Imagine this: the Detroit Lions, once the laughingstock of the NFL, suddenly on the brink of something incredible. You're feeling it. Super Bowl Sunday? Maybe. Heck, maybe this is the year they do the impossible. But wait, just when everything seemed destined for greatness, bam, the Lions get ambushed by the Washington Commanders. And not just any ambush, a crushing 45-31 defeat at home. Ouch. So, what went wrong? And more importantly, is this loss the beginning of the end for the Lions' epic revival and Super Bowl hopes? Stick around, this is a wild ride. And trust me, you don't want to miss the full breakdown. Well, folks, this wasn't supposed to be the plot twist we were all expecting. The Detroit Lions had clawed their way to the top of the NFC, that's right. Top seed. This was supposed to be the year they finally took that Super Bowl trip. After decades of disappointment, the Motor City was firing on all cylinders. And the Lions were on the verge of something special. But in a shocking twist of fate, they were knocked out in a way no one saw coming. Saturday night's game against the Washington Commanders wasn't just a loss, it was a devastating reminder that sometimes even the best laid plans can fall apart. And let me tell you, it wasn't just about the plays on the field. There were turnovers, I'm talking 5. Folks, bad decisions, missed opportunities, and a whole lot of what just happened. The disastrous game breakdown. What went wrong? Let's rewind for a second. The Lions, the NFC's #1 seed, faced off against the Washington Commanders at Ford Field. The atmosphere? Electric. The stakes? Sky high. But the Lions couldn't hold their ground. And the Commanders? Well, they seemed like a team on a mission. Now, I don't know about you, but watching the Lions just implode like that was like watching your favorite pizza fall off the table before you get a bite. You're thinking, that wasn't supposed to happen. The Lions had 5 turnovers, 5. Let's break this down, shall we? Jared Goff's pick 6, oof. Jared Goff, who's been mostly flawless all season, had a major slip-up with a pick 6 to Quan Martin. That one really set the tone. The Lions were already behind. But this? It felt like a punch to the gut. Goff admitted it. It was a poor decision. And that's gotta sting. Turnovers galore. Now, turnovers are like a bad habit you can't shake, and boy, did the Lions give away some points. 5 turnovers in total. And you know what that means? Washington got 3 easy touchdowns off those mistakes. That's not how you win playoff games. Especially when the Commanders are on fire. Trick play fiasco. Let's talk about Jameson Williams. He had a trick play where he threw an interception. Yes, you heard that right, a wide receiver throwing an INT. Definitely not the playbook you want to follow. Especially in a high-stakes game. Emotional fallout. Dan Campbell and the team's heartache. If you've been following the Lions' journey, you know Dan Campbell is the heart and soul of this team. But after the game, he was visibly crushed. Campbell is the guy who says, "We're gonna bite your kneecaps off." But on Saturday night, he could barely keep it together in his post-game interview. He was emotional, as anyone would be after a loss like that. And, in true Campbell fashion, he took it all on himself. "I didn't have them ready," he said, trying to suppress his tears. Look, Campbell is a warrior. He's the guy who's been getting this team back on track after years of mediocrity. And you can tell he feels for his players. But the truth is, when you have a game like this, where everything goes wrong, it's hard not to wonder if this is a turning point, not just for Campbell, but for the entire Lions revival. The end of an era? Will the Lions bounce back? Here's where things get tough. The Lions were already in danger of losing their key assistants. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator behind that high-flying attack, has been a hot commodity for head coaching jobs around the NFL. And then there's Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, who was already in demand despite his defense's struggles in this game. If these two leave, will the Lions' momentum come to a screeching halt? I mean, it's not just about losing 2 excellent coaches. It's about the culture they've built. Johnson and Glenn have played a huge role in shaping the attitude of this team. Campbell's fiery passion, the grit, the swagger on offense, the resilience on defense, that's all a product of these guys working together. And now, with the Lions losing in such devastating fashion, it's hard not to wonder if this could be the beginning of the end for their Super Bowl quest. But hey, as any Lions fan knows, this franchise is full of surprises, and who knows? Maybe this season was just the beginning. What's next for the Lions? Now, before you start crying into your cereal, let's take a step back. This was a tough loss. But don't forget the bigger picture. The Lions have been on an unbelievable ride. They've never been more captivating, more fun to watch, and more exciting to root for. It wasn't that long ago we were all asking, what's wrong with the Lions? Now we're asking, can they finally break the curse? Campbell and the team might not have captured that elusive Super Bowl this time around. But the foundation has been laid. The Lions have been dominant in the NFC North. They've shattered records. They've won games with grit, heart, and intensity. And as bad as this playoff exit hurts, it's not the end, it's just another chapter in their journey. The road ahead. Can they get back on track? The truth is, the road to a Super Bowl isn't a straight line. There will be ups, there will be downs, and there will be moments that make you question everything. But as long as Dan Campbell is there to lead the charge, and as long as players like Jared Goff keep that chip on their shoulder, the Lions will be back. But, with the loss of key coaches and the need to reload for next season, there are going to be some challenges. It's not going to be easy. But one thing's for sure, the Lions are here to stay. They've clawed their way out of the dark ages. And as we've seen time and time again in the NFL, you can never count out a team that has this much heart. Conclusion. Wrapping it up. So, what do you think, Lions fans? Was this the end of an era? Or just a setback on the road to greatness? Can the Lions bounce back? Or have we witnessed the peak of their resurgence? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on what's next for this team. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Lions content, playoff analysis, and a whole lot of NFL drama. Keep your heads up, Detroit. The best is yet to come. Catch you next time, where hopefully we're talking about a Super Bowl win. Dan Campbell's emotional response to Lions' playoff collapse. The Detroit Lions' playoff run came to a bitter end in a stunning defeat to the Washington Commanders, with Jared Goff's struggles at quarterback being a central factor in the loss. The Lions, fresh off an impressive 15-2 regular season and entering the postseason with high hopes, were undone by Goff's 4 turnovers, including 3 interceptions and a fumble, in a game they couldn't afford to lose. Goff, who had been a steady leader for the Lions throughout the season, was plagued by mistakes at key moments. His first-half performance was particularly disastrous, as he threw a pick six, made a costly late pass to an open Jameson Williams that was intercepted, and held the ball too long, leading to a strip sack that wasted a prime red zone opportunity. Ultimately, Detroit's offense couldn't recover from these mistakes, and despite strong contributions from the talented supporting cast, Goff's errors were too much for the Lions to overcome. The weight of the loss on Goff. After the game, Goff took full responsibility for the defeat, expressing regret and acknowledging that his play could have been better. Had I played better, do we win? Possibly, Goff said, and that's the part that will eat me alive this offseason. His candid self-criticism highlighted the weight of the loss on him personally, and his desire to improve and avoid repeating mistakes was evident in his emotional post-game remarks. Head coach Dan Campbell was similarly devastated, emotionally choking up as he reflected on the team's effort and how the players had put everything into the season. Despite his heartfelt words and the team's injuries on defense, Campbell couldn't escape the fact that Goff's turnovers were a primary reason for their elimination. Is Jared Goff's playoff ceiling too low? The loss left fans and analysts questioning whether Jared Goff is the quarterback capable of leading the Lions to a Super Bowl. Despite his strong regular season performance, Goff's inability to play mistake-free football in the postseason has raised concerns about whether he can elevate his game in high-pressure situations. Goff's previous experience in the playoffs, leading the Los Angeles Rams to a Super Bowl, only to come up short in a disappointing 3-point loss, has fueled doubts about his ability to carry a team to a title. While Goff's supporting cast is filled with playmakers, including Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Amon Ross St. Brown, and Sam Laporta, the turnovers and inability to execute in key moments are significant red flags. His costly mistakes against Washington, especially the pick six and his failure to hit an open receiver in time for a potential touchdown,